Welcome, and thank you for joining us for this mini-series on preparing for retirement from Union Bank and Trust. This presentation will include strategies for those that have been planning their financial futures and have reached the milestone of retirement. Retirement is a huge financial goal, but it is not the end. The planning does not stop here, but it does change as participants look forward to what could be 30 years in retirement. Changes addressed in this presentation include reviewing income sources, as well as reviewing the risks and the best practices for today and tomorrow. This is the big picture of personal savings for all ages, according to the Employee Benefit Research Institute. While you do see the amount of savings growing in red, but you also see that nearly half of those people in the age group of 55 and older have less than $50,000 in savings, and this does not include their house or any defined benefit plan. When workers were asked how much they would need in retirement, a surprising number of people in each age range did not know how much they would need in retirement, and even a larger number are anticipating needing less than $250,000. This again includes those people that are in the 55 and older age group. Knowing these statistics of what workers are saving and how much they plan to save, we will then focus the next section on sources of income. Now, keeping in mind that everyone's sources of retirement income will look different, this is a snapshot of the average retiree who is 65 or older. The typical retiree is receiving less than 40% of their retirement income from Social Security and had to rely on the remaining 60% from other sources. So what is happening is that a third of these people are continuing to work after retirement. So as you can see, Social Security is only a piece of the pie and was never meant to completely fund your retirement. Now this is an example of how much Social Security a person could expect today. So for instance, if you take a look at the second bar from the bottom, if this person was making $40,000 annually before retirement, this is what they can expect from Social Security. You can see that that grand total then goes down to $14,304. This is a serious pay cut for anybody who is going to or thinking that they will solely rely on Social Security for their retirement income. So in order to bridge the gap, there will hopefully be some other sources of income. But where people expect to receive their income during retirement is often differing from the sources from which they actually receive their income. Personal savings is one way to bridge that gap between Social Security and what you need for income. The graph illustrates that while only 48% of current retirees utilize their personal savings for retirement, 73% of the current workers anticipate that personal savings will play a role during retirement. Now you take a look and 74% of the workers are expecting to receive retirement income from their employer-sponsored retirement plan. But in reality, only 36% of those already retired are actually receiving income from this type of a source. Then, on the other hand, a whopping 94% of retirees say that they will be getting some sort of Social Security, as opposed to 80% of the current workers who are expecting to rely on this source. So traditionally, Social Security and company pension plans were primarily sources of a person's retirement income. But now, as you can see, personal savings are expected to play a much larger role funding future retirements. Regardless of where you fall in the statistics shared earlier, Everyone in retirement shares the goal of wanting to make sure that the assets that they have will last. And some of those assets may include taxable accounts. These might be a little bit more flexible, and you won't have to take a required minimum distribution, and your heirs won't owe income tax on the earnings when you die, but you do have to be careful to minimize your annual tax bill. You may also have a tax-deferred retirement account from a previous employer, or potentially you have an IRA that was established with a bank or a broker, and your withdrawals from those type of an account may begin at 59 and a half. If you have a Roth account and meet certain requirements, all earnings will be tax-free when you or your beneficiary withdraw them. Other benefits include avoiding your early distribution penalty on certain withdrawals and eliminating the need to take a minimum distribution after the age of 70 and a half. How long do you plan to be in retirement? Well, no one knows, and it really makes it hard to plan for an event as big as retirement. Most people tend to underestimate how long they are likely to live, and too often people base their financial planning on their life expectancy. In the United States, the median life expectancy of a 65-year-old man and woman is 85 and 88 respectively. What people do not always realize, though, that that's the median. Half of the population will live much longer, often longer than their life expectancy. The chart illustrates the probability of a 65-year-old living to various ages. For example, there's a 25% chance that a 65-year-old man will live to be the age of 91, a 65-year-old woman to the age of 93, or at least one spouse of a 65-year-old couple to the age of 96. So retirees should plan for a long retirement, perhaps as long as 30 years. Your financial plans assume that you live only to the median life expectancy. Then you will run a greater risk of depleting your retirement savings. So in order not to do that, you have to develop a game plan. It is our hope that you will be in retirement for many years. Your chances have statistically increased with healthier living and advances in healthcare. Not unlike in your working years, you will experience many changes and have different financial needs at different times. For those that are newly retired, you may spend more money than you originally anticipated. This may require you to adjust your budget during the middle years, knowing that later you may encounter some major medical expenses. The best investment strategy is the one that is based on your own individual needs and objectives. So whatever your retirement goals are, though, you do need to plan how you're going to achieve them and understand the potential risks that are involved. The risk of being unable to fund goals through retirement can be managed by an intelligent combination of funds, stocks, bonds, or possibly insurance products. Finding that right mix of products and investments for retirees involves a very individualistic approach, keeping in mind the following factors: withdrawal rates, how you want to spend your time, what you want to accomplish, and how your finances will be affected. Obviously, high withdrawal rates will quickly deplete your assets. This image shows a hypothetical 50% stock and 50-cent bond portfolio and the effect various inflation-adjusted withdrawal rates have on the end value of the portfolio after a long payout period. As illustrated, the higher the withdrawal rate, the greater the chance of potential shortfall. The lower the rate, the less likely an investor is to outlive their portfolio. Therefore, retirees who anticipate long payout periods may want to consider assuming lower withdrawal rates. The best practices that got you to this point will serve you well going forward. Paying attention to your monthly income and spending is even more important during your retirement years. You may be in the position where you need to generate income, or maybe you enjoy full-time or part-time work. The extra income can relieve pressure on your retirement savings by reducing the amount that you need to withdraw from month to month. Asset allocation is important through the years and should not be put on autopilot during retirement. The more you depend on your retirement savings for income, the more conservatively you should invest, because asset preservation is critical. However, depending upon the size of your savings, it may make sense to invest a portion of your savings more aggressively. If you can afford to invest a large portion of your savings in higher risk investments, the higher returns could help you grow your savings during your retirement, or at least provide more monthly income. One of the most important contributors to a long-lasting retirement rate is the withdrawal rate that you establish early on. This concludes our presentation on preparing for retirement. If you have any questions, feel free to contact a member of our financial education team here at Union Bank and Trust. Thank you for joining us today.